We are back for round 3, and this is an interesting hand. I usually don't like to keep 5 landers, and we are missing the second blue. However, we do have the Force Mage and Into the Void, which means that any other creature is just going to make for a good start. So I'm just going to try to keep it. This is a close one. I think you could mulligan it, but maybe you're expecting a little bit too much if you do. Of course, we would like to draw another creature. Maybe we can also use Fleeting Distraction as a nice trick. Our opponent doesn't have anything. Here we could use the Fleeting Distraction, but we are not really in a hurry. Our opponent didn't do anything, and it has quite a lot of potential against his cards. Oh, that's very interesting. I like playing against the Taskmaster. It makes games completely different and also a lot of fun. I should have distracted here because I'm not using it, but it's also good to change the clock of the game. So yeah, now that I didn't use it, I'm going to use it on my opponent's turn. That's pretty good. But if he isn't attacking, we are also not in a hurry. Now it's getting interesting. We have 7 mana, and it's unlikely that we are going to be able to Into the Void 2 creatures at any point. So the Alchemist doesn't do anything really. We might want to use the Peel pretty soon. But the problem is that he also has a very good blocker. But if he blocks the Hole-Geist with the Taskmaster, that's actually pretty good for us. So we need to start taking less damage here, which means that either Into the Void or Peel from Reality have to be cast, and Peel seems a little worse than Into the Void. So although it kind of, against one creature it does kind of the same thing, but I expect him to maybe play 2 creatures soon. So I need 4 mana if I want to Ringcrafter, Peel, Wingcrafter. Oh wait, I can actually... Does it make a difference? No, if I block first and then Peel, it doesn't make a difference. So 4 mana for that, and the Alchemist. Yeah, the Alchemist isn't great, but that's fine. And of course it doesn't work because we don't have enough blue mana. Oh well, it's still fine. Not having a drop here really cost me. which means I had to use Fleeting Distraction earlier, but I didn't think about him just beating me down with one creature. Okay, that's a good card. We are going to cast it on this guy, so it has 10 defense. He could have Peel here. But I think I had to cast the Revenge. Now could reduce the amount of life he gains by 1. I'm dealing 8 to him. Yeah, I think that's actually fine. Didn't draw anything, but that's okay. And I guess I want these to fly. This with another creature. Now I don't think that he can raise my board. And Into the Void should really win the race here. I have to be a little bit more careful next game. He also has this guy, oh man. Seven 5 lifelink. Hexproof. He's taking the trade, which is probably a good idea. Oh man. Do I want to soulbond these? No. Yes. That was a blowout Fleeting Distraction. And I'm not really dealing enough damage here, so I need to draw some Mist Ravens. Don't know if he has to miracle this. Could blow out any double block. Lumberknot. Well, I'm not conceding this game, but it's not looking too good. I basically need to draw Mistraven. Oh wow. He's splashing 2 Banishing Strokes. And casting it on the guy that doesn't have any relevance. Yeah, he should have just kept it to put my Mistraven on the bottom. Now I could theoretically draw myself out of this. So we have to keep in mind quite a lot of cards. He has 2 Banishing Strokes, but also a Mental Agony. Fleeting Distraction. Okay, that probably does it. Okay, we need some stuff against the Seclusion, and Natural End seems like a natural fit. Geist Snatch also very good against a deck that relies on having exactly 1 creature. Even Stern Mentor could be good, because the game we need the alternative win condition. Games are going to go too long, and we can take out some stuff, I guess. The question is, how do we want our deck to look after boarding? Do we want to have an insanely high amount of creatures and just beat down, or do we only want the most efficient creatures? What's our overall game plan? I mean, Fleeting Distraction has to go. This isn't a deck where you have regular creature combat, so anything that relies on there being too many creatures is just not going to be very good. Even Into the Void isn't the greatest, because when he has the Seclusion, he's just not going to give you a second target. But when I board in all of these cards, I'm actually quite fine in handling the Seclusion. So if I board in all of these, I definitely need to take something out, that's for sure. Ghostly Flicker is an easy cut, it's just not that interesting. So that would be 7 spells, which is, I guess, the upper end. And we would have to cut 2 creatures now. Maybe a 6-drop to have the more aggressive starts, the potential for more aggressive starts. But I feel like we need to get rid of some of the early stuff as well. The Apprentice just seems bad. And Ringcrafter only seems okay. So maybe we just do this and plan for the longer game. But do we have enough for Lumberknot? He does have all these Banishing Strokes, so this is a reason to keep the Flicker. But I don't want to have too many spells. So let's do the Lumberknot count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's enough. I think we can win with this. And let's think about this. Do we want to go first against a deck that has so much stuff going on? No, I don't think we want to. We do want to have a board presence, but the Taskmaster kind of draws out games by itself. So I find it really weird that he's splashing the Banishing Strokes. That just seems kind of weird. For the sake of the curve, I'm once again going to go with the Timberland Guide, even though it might deal more damage later with the Ledge Seeker. He does have a Shade now, so we don't want him to drop the Seclusion, of course. Okay. We can't really block a Shade here, I think. I expect him to just pump the Shade twice, because he believes that he's getting life out of it, and he doesn't want to drop another creature because he has the Seclusion in play. Okay, no he doesn't, but I'm still going to do that. And we are just going to use this to deal some more damage. This looks like Banishing Stroke, which fits quite nicely into his curve, I have to say. I'm hoping that the Holgeist gives him some trouble. It's usually pretty hard to get the Holgeist in check. But now that I've drawn Crippling Chill, I'm just going to use it to bring him down to 1. There shouldn't be anything that gets him out of this. Okay. There are certainly some good draws in there. But we saw that we do need both natural lands. Stern Mentor maybe not so much, but I want something for the later game. Now he's going last, but I'm going to keep this hand. Once again, a 5-lander on the play, but our deck does have the expensive spells, and if we manage to draw a 3-drop, it's actually great. He probably doesn't have a Plains yet because he didn't lead with one. He kind of has to miracle his Banishing Strokes. All of this is pretty self-explanatory, so nothing happening yet. Let's hope for one more creature before we have to Into the Void. Although these are fine targets as well. So now I think I'm just going to attack for 2. It's possible that he has something like Bone Splinters, which would be bad, but there's a lot of ways for him to stop the aggression here. But if he just drops the 3/2 again, then it's going to be very good to have Into the Void. Sadly, he has Gryff Vanguard, which is not a card you want to bounce. But this is actually quite nice. With the Smuggler and Mistraven, we can start bouncing his stuff. So I think we are waiting on the Into the Void. Okay, the Searchlight Guys is bad because now he can once again block the Raven. But this might even be the... No, I can't Into the Void now because I have the Smuggler. Okay, that's interesting. Revenge of the Hunted on the Smuggler should be an absolute blowout. Because all of his creatures have to block. And we kill all of them. He's back up to 7, which means we are far from killing him here. So we potentially take another 5 next turn from his attack. The question is if we prefer to Into the Void, giving him another creature. No, giving him another card to draw. That doesn't seem too good. Let's hope he doesn't Mind Rot me here. I didn't have to play the land, I suppose. Now I don't really have a good attack, but I need to get in some damage with the Mistraven, I think. Oh, this game is getting tough to win. I can block next turn, block the Revenant, bounce the Vanguard. I have to chump block the Revenant or use the Smuggler. And the Raven is the only card that can attack. Whoa. If this wasn't a hexproof creature, it would all be fine. So I could just Into the Void his 2 creatures, attack for 2 with Mistraven, or just not attack at all. Problem is that I still need to get rid of the 4/4 and the 3/2, and I can't bounce this one, and I can't keep bouncing this one. So what I probably want to do is to block with Mistraven, flicker, and bounce the Executioner, but then I still take the damage from the Vanguard. No, I think I have to deal as much damage as possible here and hope to somehow get there. Maybe by drawing another Mistraven. And I hope that he has Homicidal Seclusion and somehow decides to play it, even though it doesn't make any sense. That's a little late, but it might still be enough. So now Wandering Wolf can't attack because of the Surgeon. Mistraven has to block the Revenant, and then I bounce the Vanguard. Yep. That's actually not that bad for me, because it means he can't replay the Vanguard. He doesn't know that I wanted this, but feels kind of weird. Why would you draw 3 instead? I mean, he knows what I'm going to do, so just dropping the Vanguard again looks like the better play. I also don't have anything for that yet, so it's another problem. Okay, he's not attacking. Okay, that's, yeah, I guess that's to be expected at some point. This is going to be insanely close, but I have a way to win now with Mistraven and Geist Snatch up, so let's hope we get there. Ledge Seeker should also help. Oh man, this is crazy. So we're going to drop Ledge Seeker and hope that his best play is the Vanguard, taking away most of his mana. We are chump blocking the Revenant and taking 2 from the Surgeon, which means that we die to the discard 2 spell, I suppose. But the only way not to die to it is to block the Surgeon with Ledge Seeker, and then we don't have an attack, so that's not an option. Okay, good games. There is no target for Natural Land, and he didn't have to play this creature, so I'm losing. Too bad, really. I don't know if I could take less damage there somewhere. But I feel like this was still well played, and he had a nice deck. Both games where he won took quite long, and my deck isn't too bad in the late game, but his was probably better. If he doesn't cast a Master the Components but tries to replay the Vanguard and I just counter it, then I might also win because I have another blocker or attacker, either way. And if he doesn't have the Fleeting Distraction, I can also play around his burn spell, but all of this didn't happen. So, this was Simon Gotzen, recording Simon Says for MTGOcademy.com. See you next time.